Sure, let's start the AI companion and see what that does.
Don't take this.
All right. Good afternoon. It is the Warren Board of Selectmen, June 26, 2025, at 4 p.m. This meeting is being recorded and broadcast via our local cable access channel, WCAT TV on Zoom, Facebook, and YouTube. If anyone in the audience is recording, please let us know. If everyone can stand for the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alrighty. Possible vote on any final year-end appointments and summer employees for the Parks and Recreation Department. Please see attachment B for a complete list. We have attachment B. All right.
The front one is the list, the ones in yellow are the reappointments, the ones in white are new appointments.
Okay, so we can do all these except me.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna be doing a lot of motions. I gotta do them individually too, huh?
No, you can group them. So
No,
summer
because they're
lifeguard.
different.
So summer lifeguard, you can all do
Yeah,
at
you could do
once?
those, yeah.
Yeah. So if the position is the same, you can group those.
Right.
But other than that, yeah.
Okay, I'll make a motion to appoint Derek Valise as a planning alternate for CMRPC for a one-year term.
Second, all in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Richi Hacker, aye. Motion carries.
I'll make a motion to appoint Karen Dusty on Conservation Commission for 2 years,
You can do Philip too.
and also Philip A. Woodford for Conservation Commission for 3 years.
Second, all in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Richi Hacker, aye. Motion carries.
I'll make a motion, yeah. How do I say that name?
Avienda?
Arienda?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, I'll make a motion to appoint the following individuals to a summer lifeguard from June 23rd to August 24th, 2025. Arienda, Catherine Merrill, Leela Broadley, Andrew Bocher, Kyra Bocher, Camden Williams, nope,
Yeah.
that's a new one. So we end at Kyra Bocher.
Yep. Second, all in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Richi Hacker, aye. Motion carries.
I'll make a motion to appoint the following individuals for summer camp counselors from July 7th to August 8th, 2025. Camden Williams, Jacob Casey, and Erica Soto.
Second, all in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Richi Hacker, aye. Motion carries. All right. All right, so discussion and possible vote on the request from the Parks Department to put storage containers on the Shepherd Building property.
What are they gonna look like? How big?
Oh,
Hi.
Hello.
Parks Department. We are requesting to store storage containers on the property for an extended amount of time until we figure out where we're gonna put them permanently. We already purchased the storage containers. If you say no, obviously, we're gonna find somewhere else to put them for now, hopefully. We do know that there's already room by the CERT trailers. Jim McKeon already said that they would fit, so. Any other questions?
Is it a Conex container? Large?
They're
Okay.
exactly like the CERT
Yeah,
container
okay,
that's already out
yeah.
there.
What are you gonna be storing in it?
Mostly decorations and anything else I could fit in there. I'm trying to clean out the storage room downstairs so we can use that for possible events.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
that's a good solution.
Yeah.
Including the stuff that's in the stairway down there?
I cleaned out the stairways.
Oh, cool, awesome. You're efficient.
That's clean.
You're good.
I try.
All right, I'm
I'm
good.
good with it?
Yeah.
You wanna make a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve, well, did you have something to say?
No,
Okay.
it's just, thank you
Jim
for,
seemed like he was.
Yeah.
thank you for doing that.
Of course, no
Yeah.
problem.
I'll make a motion to approve the storage containers for decorations and et cetera located at the Shepherd Building grounds for the Parks Department.
Second, all in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Richi Hacker, aye. Motion
Thank you.
carries.
We appreciate it.
You're welcome. All right, review of a request to appoint Ms. Sheila E. LaFlower as registrar for a 3-year term until June 30th, 2028.
I have no issues. Good. I'll make a motion to appoint Sheila E. LaFlower as register for a 3-year term. And it expires on June 30th, 2028.
Second, all in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Richi Hacker, aye. Motion carries. Possible vote to appoint Griffin Harrington to the position of Executive Assistant to the Town Administrator and Board of Selectmen with a wage authorization at a grade C, step 3 on the wage compensation plan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Before you this evening is Griffin Harrington, who is in the audience. Just finished up his paperwork with the treasurer, his onboarding paperwork. The position is to fill for our retiring administrative assistant, Karen Dusty, who will be retiring next week. Griffin is from Wilbraham. He comes with knowledge as being a recent college graduate from Western New England University, as well as working for the Air National Guard in his capacity, and is a really bright individual. I've interviewed him a couple times. I provided a test to him, on taking minutes. He was very successful and thorough in the minutes that he had taken. I think he would be a good asset to the team here. He's a young, energetic individual who is eager to learn and to do the task at hand here. We are looking to continue on that trend of moving the town forward, and I think Griffin would be a wise asset to the team.
Okay.
Sounds good. Let's hear from him.
Yeah, come on up.
Griffin Harrington, pleasure to meet you all. Thank you for having me. So, as he had said, I studied finance at Western New England University, graduated there 2 years ago, and then for the past 2 years I was on active duty with the Army National Guard. I was living in Alabama for flight school, so I'm a medevac pilot out of Westfield on the part-time side, and yeah, I'm excited. I'm really happy for this opportunity. I've been told I got big shoes to fill. Hopefully I can fill them, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So thank you for having me.
All right, great. Any questions?
No, you seem very impressive. Impressive resume. Love having, military, within the ranks here. Great addition. You do have some big shoes to fill there. Mrs. Dusty has been very, very helpful over the years with us and helped us through a lot of hard times and a lot of good times, and she'll be greatly missed with her retirement. And I heard a rumor, if we don't appoint him, she's gonna have to stay.
Oh, that's too bad.
It's just a rumor. All right, no,
Okay.
I'm good.
Yeah, all right. Want to make a motion?
I will. I'll make a motion to appoint, where am I here? Okay.
Four.
Make a motion to appoint Griffin Harrington to the position of Executive Assistant to the Town Administrator and the Board of Selectmen at a grade C, step 3.
Second, all in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Richi Hacker, aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
We'll see him on
Come on up.
Monday. Is that the,
Now we gotta welcome you to the team. Welcome to the team.
Welcome.
Pleasure to meet you, thank you.
Griffin, congratulations, thank you.
Possible vote to authorize a petty cash reimbursement for the Board of Selectmen.
Okay, this is just so that I can turn the box back in. I have to get it up to $100 to turn it back in, even though it's not, I don't need to do a reimbursement right now, but because I am leaving and he is coming, I have to roll it over.
Okay. Okay.
Sounds good to me, go ahead.
Yep. I'll make a motion to approve the petty cash reimbursement for the Board of Selectmen, and that's in the amount of $37.69.
Second, all in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Richi Hacker, aye. Motion carries. Review.
Do you want to sign as we go, or do you want to sign after?
No,
After.
Okay.
Review, discuss, and vote on the reimbursement of $500 for the Quabog Youth Baseball Program.
Didn't we drop that?
No, we dropped the softball, and we
Okay.
made the
Right.
softball cheer, but we still kept
Football
the
and
base.
cheer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we kept the baseball.
Okay.
And they did send I didn't add all the receipts, but all the receipts are here, they're all checked out, they're good to go.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve the reimbursement of $500 to the Quabog Youth Baseball Program.
Second, all in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Richi Hacker, aye. Motion carries. Discussion with a possible vote to sign a 3-year license agreement between the town and the Hampton Communications Corporation for space on a telecommunications tower located at 1621 Southbridge Road, Warren.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. So before you this evening, you will see a license agreement with Hamden Communications and the town. You may recall that at the annual town meeting, there was an appropriation and allowance to enter into this agreement as one of our articles at town meeting. And now, before you this evening, is just simply the signing of the agreement. So we put out a uniqueness determination was done with the Secretary of State for this particular location. There was no responses. A town meeting vote had taken place on June 12th, and now before you this evening, the final aspect of it is the actual signing of the agreement. This agreement has been reviewed by town council. This is the same agreement that was currently on the lease, except for an adjustment of the lease amount, which has already been budgeted for. So the new amount for the license fee is $1,950 a month, and they will commence on starting July 1.
I corrected them.
Say that again?
They had your titles on your signature page incorrect, so I
Oh, okay.
corrected them.
Okay.
You good?
Any- yeah, go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve the 3-year license agreement with Hamden Communication Corporation.
Second, all in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Richi Hacker, aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Discussion with a possible vote to sign a contract for professional services between the town and the Collins Center for a comprehensive human resource review.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. So before you this evening is a contract between the town and UMass Collins Center, Ed Collins Center, for a comprehensive human resource review. As you may recall, we were successful in getting a best practices grant from the state in the amount of $25,000 to do a comprehensive review of our personnel bylaw, our HR policies, and to go through them and to get them updated. So we would like to move forward with contracting with the Collins Center to facilitate this review. They would be working directly with me to make sure that they have all of the correct information, that they are provided a copy of all of the current policies, as well as a copy of the current personnel bylaw. They will be interviewing staff. I will be working with them on the implementation, the drafting of these policies, any recommendations to the bylaw. I will be working with them, and then ultimately, we will bring forward these recommended policies and changes for adoption by the board. And then if there's changes recommended to the bylaw, we would bring them at the next annual meeting in next June.
Okay,
I'm good.
sounds good. All right, go ahead.
I'll make a motion to sign and approve the contract with the Collins Center for a comprehensive human resource review.
Second, all in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Richi Hacker, aye, motion carries.
The patrolman's things tabled.
Yes, so I would like to speak on this, Mr. Chairman, if we could. For the collective bargaining agreement between the town and the Warren Patrolmen's Association, as you know, we had signed an MOA. We have a updated contract that has been integrated by Tim Zessen, which the board had received a copy of that last week. I also subsequently sent that integrated contract to the Patrolmen's Association's President, Matt Moran, who he then forwarded to their association's council. My understanding that their association's council has not finalized their review of the document yet. So the MOA is signed. They can move forward with the changes that have been agreed upon, but the actual signing of the contract will now have to wait till after July 1. But the association, the officers, will still enjoy the benefits of what was negotiated with the MOA, because we have the signed MOA come July 1.
Okay,
At some point, you will have a contract in front of you that has been signed by the association, and then you would have to countersign it. Unfortunately, it's just not ready yet because their council has not finished their review of it.
okay, so then we're talking like July 10th, right? I think is our next
Potentially
meeting.
July 10th, it could be August, you know.
Oh, wow,
You know,
really?
sometimes these contracts, take,
Okay.
time for their council to review.
Yeah. Okay, I thought-
I'm pushing to get them to sign it sooner rather than later, but.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, whenever they're ready.
It's tabled.
All right, so discussion and presentation of the town administrator's annual performance review. Oh boy, here we go. Man, this is gonna be brutal, I think. All right, so what I did was, each of us did a review, and then I just took averages, so you can see the results. I think overall, it's very positive. The board felt you were doing a great job. Couple interesting comments, I think, like doing a weekly lunch with staff might be an interesting idea to connect with people. Also, getting feedback from, I mean, we do it because we supervise you, but seek feedback from other departments too. You know, have a candid discussion with the treasurer, or, highway, or whatever, police department, and get some feedback too, from them and what they need. I think, under dependability and attendance, like just the fact that, for example, you're gonna show up at the thing for Molly Bish on Saturday. You go above and beyond what your job duties or your work schedule dictates, so, I think that's awesome. And we have mentioned, work-life balance is good, so don't forget about that. And then, well, you have any comments on just the ratings part of it, David?
No, overall, you've done very, very well. Your definitely above exceeds expectations in most of the areas on your evaluation. You know, everybody has room for improvement, and I know when I do evaluations, I look at positive things with people, and I try to point out the positive, what they're doing really well, and nobody is ever perfect, and evaluations are help to guide us and help us fix something. If I tell you you're always perfect, you're gonna think you're always perfect and you've never done anything wrong. But if I guide you sometimes and say, okay, you're really good in these areas, but say your spelling is off. You know, we've caught some spelling errors over the past year in some meeting notes or whatever, and you might want to, you know, improve on spell check a little bit, you know, use it a little more. So there's always room to improve, and you would know that unless we told you that, and we have to identify that. So there's always room for movement. But overall, you're doing really well. You're definitely exceeding expectations, and you're doing very well throughout the whole thing. And there are some key comments in there to help assist to make what you're already doing well a little better.
Okay. So, your overall score, I'll do that, and we can talk about the goals. Where is it? So you rated under the scale for all employees with supervisory positions, you rated an outstanding at 187. And outstanding is from 144 to 215, so you're probably right in the middle, maybe a little above middle.
Thank you.
Awesome. So Jim also provided his 2026 goals. Create a task force to look at ways to address the rising costs of utilities and insurances, with a report being issued to the Selectmen in town meeting by June 2026. Number 2, procure a vendor to refresh, update the town's website, and manage a successful implementation. 3, work with the Collins Center to perform a complete review of the town's personnel bylaw and update the town's policies related to HR functions. Number 4, continue to address building maintenance and improvement to town buildings. And then 5, to continue to provide training opportunities to assist with staff development. Any other questions?
No?
Okay.
Good
Do you have
job.
any comments or questions?
No, I just would like to say thank you very much for those comments, and I really do appreciate working for the board and working for you guys. Thank you very much.
We're glad to have you.
Absolutely.
All right. Moving on. Review with a possible vote to sign a change order number 4 and their certificate of final completion for the School Street Phase 2 and Otis Street Improvement Project.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As we're winding down the end of the year, we have our School Street Phase 2 and Otis Street Improvement Project. These are the change orders. There's 2 change orders that need to be addressed by the board. One is in the amount of $990, which was to provide additional loam and seed work that needed to be done around some of the areas that were, some of the sidewalks were abutting, and some of the road work that dug up some of the lawns areas. So loam and seed work needed additional funding, as well as $1,852 for additional traffic controllers that we needed out there to protect the drivers and the passers-bys on the project.
Okay.
I'm good with it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve and sign the change order 4 to certify the final completion of the School Street Phase 2 and Otis Street Improvement Project.
Second, all in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Rich Hacker, aye. Motion carries. Public hearing, oh. Okay, warrants and bills?
Yep.
You're up.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the following warrants. Payroll, number 32, for $121,540.36. Accounts payable, number 49, for $63,569.37. Accounts payable, number 50, for one,
Yes,
A
that's
million?
true. $1 million.
what? Accounts payable, number 50, for $1,055,313.05. Accounts payable, number 51, for $545,257.60.
Second, all in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Richi Hacker, aye. Motion carries.
And the reason why, Mr. Chairman, the payables of number 50, I'm assuming that that is one of the last school payments that we have to make. Yep.
Okay.
$1 million, jeez. All right, bills. Make a motion to pay the following bills for fiscal year '25. Verizon in $510. Entree for $946.85. Power Products for a total amount of $2,520. BG Mechanical for $1,610.25. Merrick for $345. KP Law for a total amount of $2,309. Modern Pest for $117. Associated Building Wreckers for $491.20, sorry. Pride Cleaning Contractors for $414. Stericycle for $126.31. Comcast for $278.89. True Value for $8.99. ServU for $38.97. National Grid for a total amount of $420.26. Masters Telecom for $93.64. Primo Water for $10.58. PEAC Solutions for $843.70. American Towers for $2,379.52. Vanpool for a total amount of $8,271.11. Pine Ridge for $453.50. C2MA Adams for a total amount of $2,109.25. A. Martin and Sons for $56,279.64.
Mr. Chairman, on the next one, Singer Kittredge, that should be just 20,000. Because that's out of ARPA funds, 20,000 for the dishwasher. The 8,000 is coming out of the senior center account.
Singer Kittredge for $20,000.
Okay. Before I second, correct me if I'm wrong, but David said $278.89 for Comcast?
Yeah, I think it's 279.
$279.89.
$279.89. Yep.
Okay, all right. Second, all in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Richi Hacker, aye.
David Dufresne, aye.
Motion passes. All right, so 26 bills.
Yep. I'll make a motion to pay the following bills for fiscal year '26. Entree for $3,046.56. SBA Structures LLC for $1,806.47. Chubb.
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 Chubb, yeah.
It's insurance.
It's insurance.
Is it?
Yeah.
Police and fire.
Okay. Chubb Insurance for $24,977. SHI International Corp. for $12,219.19. West Warren Water District for $14,899.
Second, all in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Richi Hacker, aye. Motion carries. Approval of meeting minutes.
But unfortunately, David wasn't here on the first one, on June 5th, so we
Oh.
couldn't vote on that.
Okay.
So that will have to be done in July.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we could do the July,
Yeah.
the June
June
12th.
Yep.
Yep. All right, I'll make a motion to approve the June 12th, 2025 meeting minutes.
Second, all in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Rich Ihacker, aye. Motion carries. Town Administrator Report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I just have a couple things I'd like to report to the board this evening on. This week has been a very busy week, productive week. I met on Wednesday with the Small Town Administrators Association. We had our annual meeting at Cypern Keys in Boylston. Went out there to talk about a whole bunch of different issues that communities such as Warren are facing. We're looking at AI in its implementation throughout Massachusetts and in municipalities, and what benefits that could possibly be brought to the town in towns across Massachusetts. We are also looking at, I'm on the Legislative Steering Committee for STAM, which addresses, inequities at the state level. I know we always talk about it here, about the lack of funding for Chapter 90, Chapter 70, those inequities that small rural towns face have been incorporated into this year's legislative action that we're going to take to Boston, to the reps and to the senators for awareness. We also talked about some of the challenges that small rural communities are facing with rising costs, the budget busters, insurances, utility costs, looking at ways for potentially partnering, regionalizing costs, joint ventures in terms of purchasing power. So we're looking at some things. I'm going to be rolling out, as I said, as one of my goals, and at town meeting, a task force to help us, look at some ways that we could potentially be saving some money, and come up with some good recommendations to the town to implement. So that's what we're going to be working on. Also this week, I had a meeting with Hub Insurance as a potential lead-off into that, one of that task force thing. I met with their top account representatives, as well as their top underwriter for municipal insurance on the property casualty side, as well as a workers' comp side. They've provided us with a quote. I'm still waiting on the final numbers from Maya for the breakdown of what our property casualty is going to look like, and our workers' comp side. There is a potential savings, moving with another option. I think we're going to need time to fully vet it and explore it, and maybe look at another third option. And I think it's going to take time to do that. So I don't think that I wouldn't recommend a change at this particular juncture for July 1 of this year, but definitely there could be potential changes for next year. We just need more time to review it and to look at it. And it's tough getting all this information so that they can give you a quote. You need your loss run ratios, you need your schedule of properties, your schedule of materials, all of this stuff that is insured. We need to provide these schedules to, and it takes time to pull all these lists together to provide a competitor an opportunity to provide us with a competitive price. So we started that process. I started the dialogue with Hub. They are used in some communities around us. And I would also like to follow up on some of their references as well. But there's more to come on that. So I just want to let the board know I have started that discussion. I have worked, since the last time we met, I have worked with the sewer commissioners. They recently set their rates. They are also working on a skunk pump replacement project down there. And I'm working with Ralph and the sewer commissioners on this replacement project. Ty and Bond is doing the procurement. We're looking at putting all the money together for this particular project. Because money is tight, it is a little bit more expensive than what was anticipated to get this done. So I am working with Ralph and with the sewer commissioners on getting this project done because it is a needed project as an improvement down there. Some of those pumps are just not working and they need to be replaced. We are currently in the process of doing employee evaluations for all staff. So we've already started, several departments have already started their evaluations. I've wrapped up with the police chief, fire chief. You had signed off on those, Mr. Chairman, as well as some others, other department heads. They are done, and there's some other ones that need to be completed. But we're going to be finishing that up hopefully by the beginning of July, sooner than what we were finishing up last year, which was a good goal to get them done sooner rather than later. And like I said, Mr. Chairman, I am working with the Patrolmen's Association to get that contract to you guys, to get that over the finish line. The MOA is in full effect. It's been signed. We are waiting on the final contract to be integrated, so we have that full thing. I did send out the MOA to the financial departments so that they're aware of the changes of pay accordingly for the accountant, the treasurer, Dawn Guzik, all of the people, the players for payroll and benefits that process that. They are aware of the MOA. They got a copy of it. That will go in effect on July 1. One thing that was new this year that we're going to continue to do is park staff are appointed by the Board of Selectmen. Okay? Parks do not have the statutory authority to appoint. That should be appointed by the Board of Selectmen. That is, they are considered, essentially employees and staff. Whether they're here for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, or 3 months, they're considered staff. So the board should regularly, I worked with Danielle on this. She's gonna provide, we're gonna go over the offer letter. They're gonna come in front of you. They're gonna go through the same process as a normal employee is done. That has not been done in the past. We're gonna do this now, moving forward. That is that, and as mentioned, Karen is going to be retiring come July 3rd. We've worked and we've secured Griffin, but I do want to publicly say thank you to Karen for her years of service, and thank you for being a friend and helping me when I first started here. So thank you.
All right. Any
you.
questions?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, thanks, Jim. New business?
Nope.
Do you want to announce that Molly Bish thing?
Yeah, sure. I mean, on this Saturday, I have been made aware of the vigil, of the 25-year vigil remembrance of Molly Bish. Will be in town at 6:30. If it is going to rain, we will have the senior center open for the vigil. If not, the vigil locations will be the normal locations.
Okay, all right. Old business?
No.
Nope. Correspondence. Mass DOT Bridge Report. So what do we have going here?
Yeah, I was reading through that, and it's
Route 19.
Kind of concerning.
And Tufts Brook Road.
So there's severe deterioration of the bridge. And much like many of the other bridges throughout the communities, this scaling and deterioration of the underside of the bridge is causing rebar to be exposed. And then also the beaver dam that's about 50 feet upriver from it. It's causing it to flood more, or downriver. So the water levels are getting too high for the bridge.
Okay.
So we probably should take care of that beaver dam if we can. Is it on private property?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, we have to find out if it's on private property.
Does highway deal with this sort of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought, okay.
And Jeremy has this report.
Yeah.
He does,
It's one every time and goes through it thoroughly.
okay. All right, Jim, do you have any comments on this? or-
No, I think, you know, this is just for the purview of the selectmen so that they're aware of this. As Karen had indicated, Jeremy gets a copy of this, he's aware of this, and this is what he will use to determine, you know, work that needs to be done in the future and future projects.
Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing he could do to the bridge. That's DOT stuff.
All righty, we have a letter from Joe Condrat.
It's about Molly Bish.
Yeah, it's about Molly Bish. So, yeah, very sad. If you get a
For
chance,
our-
I guess, you know, be able to stop by the vigil. And then Jeremy Olson on Palmer paving renewal of the contract.
So,
Oh, wait a minute.
No,
Yep, there's, that's
Well,
the
we also
second
have
one.
a letter.
resignation.
Jacob Provost has resigned from his PW-2 heavy equipment operator position from the highway department. So we had just hired him, and he's already gone. So, and then he's asking the strong recommendation to extend the Palmer paving materials for state aid road construction and general town maintenance contract for FY '26.
Yep, I had asked him to send this over to us, you know, what was his recommendation, and, you know, we'll be following up with the appropriate steps to move forward.
Does it have to go out to bid?
This may be, can be extended for a year, another year. So, you know, but I needed a written recommendation from him in order to check up on that.
You know, projecting it might save the town at least $100,000.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's great. Okay. That, any other correspondence?
No,
Comments and concerns? How are we doing on time? We're good.
10 minutes?
We have 5 minutes of slot too, so,
So 15 minutes.
yeah. Comments and concerns from the audience? Nothing? You two in the back?
Chiefs?
All right, hearing none. Our next meeting will be July 10th, 2025 at 6 PM.
No, public hearing. Next.
Or, well, okay, yeah, okay. So stay tuned for the public hearing at 5, and then the meeting, and then we have the 6 o'clock meeting to go over
Safety.
the public safety complex, the second of 3 meetings. And then July 10th, right?
Yes.
All
and
right.
July 10th is a National Grid poll hearing at 6 o'clock.
For what, trees?
One poll needs to be put up on Cronin Road.
Okay.
And
All
it
right.
has been advertised and it has gone out to the abutters.
Okay. And if that's it, you want to
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second, all in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Richi Hacker, aye. We are adjourned. Good night, everybody.
All right, sign away now.